It's Members Connect. We've had it on hold for a while. We were trying to decide, do we continue with Members Connect? Do we combine it with something else? And what I really wanted to do was make sure that you weren't, really just hearing from me. And so Elisa and Lynn have come forward and they're going to host it for us in Toronto time zone. Yay!
Welcome, everyone. This is Lynn and my first time hosting Members Connect. And so Lynn and I are in Ontario. I see a couple of other faces from Ontario as well. And I thought, yeah, let's give Ontario some representation, man. And because usually these are hosted in downtown Vancouver or Victoria. What I want to do is give everyone a chance to do a roundtable, to introduce themselves, take a couple of minutes to say your name, what's your location right now, and why are you here today? Why did you decide to drop in? Perhaps where you are in your investment journey, and if there's a specific area of focus that you're currently focused on.
Sure. I'll keep it short. So I'm Liza Rogers. I'm the founder of WREN, the Women's Real Estate Network, and super excited to be growing it. It seems like, for a little while we were trying to figure out, do we grow or do we kind of shift directions? And then, as things would have it, what happens is all of a sudden there's like a ton of interest. And so we get a message from the universe that it's time for us to grow again. So we're just in that phase right now. Why am I here today? So apart from being super interested in being a real estate investor, I'm also really interested in creating community. I'm really passionate about co-housing, location independent, co-ownership, co-living and traveling. And so many of you have heard about me talking about the boutique hotel idea. So I'm in Vancouver. I'm going to a conference on the weekend that talks about buying properties in Mexico. And then I'm co-MC at a big real estate conference in Vancouver next week called Pacific West. So I really want to get more people inspired to take action on their investment journey, whether it's real estate, whether it's private equity, whether it's investing in themselves and their health. And I think in general, just taking more responsibility for our financial futures, because God knows we don't want to be dependent on the government for our futures. Oh my God, Canada, help me now. I think I'll just leave it at that.
My name is Frank Papillo. Liza and I are cousins, and we're, how can I put it? I run the Matthew Foundation, which is a Canadian non-for-profit group, and we're just expanding in leaps and bounds and so many different things right now. And one of the biggest issues around where I live, which is in the Niagara region, is there's lots of homeless people. And we talked to McDonnell Douglas, which is an old hospital that could be torn down. And I've been in contact with them on and off for almost pretty much all of last week. And we're looking at some other areas where we might be able to help individuals, whether it's co-housing or co-living. And yeah, I'm working on stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning because I don't sleep properly. But that's my story for today.
I actually work with Lisa, and I'm here in general in this space because I'm really passionate about co-living and affordable housing, and just changing the way that we think about housing and what we dream of and what we aspire for. So yeah, happy to be here.
Amazing. Yeah, Darren has stayed at Mimo's co-living, my co-living place 2, 3, 4 times now.
Yeah, a couple of times. I actually don't remember the amount of times.
I don't remember now also. Yeah, so that's lovely. So as a digital nomad, it's lovely to have that opportunity to call something your home base. And I know lots of people actually call our home their home base. We are their home in Canada.
My name's Amber, and I have a small design build company with my partner Jeff, and we were flipping quite a lot, and that's when I met Liza. And then there's been some anti-flipping taxes that have come in, and only this last one that just was recently put in actually affected us because we were doing it through our corporation. So we've been sort of sitting in limbo for a while, figuring out what the next play is for us. But we're currently looking at doing perhaps a fourplex locally in Victoria, getting more into the development end of things. And then we also do design build for clients as well, and with a focus more on residential.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Hong, pronounced like Hong Kong. I'm right now in Vancouver, BC. So I'm calling Vancouver my home for the last 2 years. And I have been a real estate investor for over 25 years. So I actually do real estate coaching, and I help families avoid divorce through finding financial security. I'm also a licensed mortgage agent. And so my focus there is to help investors tap into their equity to get into their next opportunity. So right now I'm working on a book collaboration, and I'm also working on offloading my infill land in Edmonton, which has the potential for an 8-plex build. So if anybody is interested in that, let me know. And I'm really on the call here because I'm looking to just connect and help and just look for more opportunities.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Hong. I know out of the WREN membership, there's a number of people in the Alberta market who are doing things in Calgary, Edmonton, in the secondary markets as well. It's super exciting there too. And a lot of it, Hong, I'm sure you can attest to, is because of the landlord-tenant regulations in Alberta are a little bit more favorable for landlords.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that a lot of investors from Ontario and BC are going there. The other reason is the price point is so much more affordable there, right? And we're now seeing the post-COVID effects of that area just going up. Like the rents there are comparable to Ontario and BC, and yet the cost per units are a lot less.
I'm Monica Rao. It's so nice to see familiar and new faces here. I'm originally from Ontario, lived and worked in downtown Toronto for many years before going to Vancouver for about 5.5, starting at Sauder to do my MBA, and then subsequently actually moving to a very small town out west called Rossland to sell real estate for the winter season and ski at the same time. It was quite a combo. And have finally found myself in Kelowna. To the point of affordability, it was a place that I knew that I could stabilize myself and still be able to afford a home, and to really grow from there, because certainly it was not the major cities of Vancouver or Toronto, unfortunately. And we're seeing that across the board. No matter if you're a professional or anyone else, it's just not feasible anymore. I'm an urban planner by training, as well as a realtor. I'm actually in my pre-sale office right now. Don't worry, no one's in here. But all to say that urban planning and development is very much in line with what I want to do. I do want to start a development company in the coming years, and more of sitting in things like this and taking on more education and experiencing development projects, especially in the Okanagan, is really what's helping me to propel myself. There's not a lot of individuals, especially younger females, that are in this space, and it's really hard to navigate on your own. So I have found that the more people like all of you who I can surround myself with and gain experience and information has been amazing. By the way, Kelowna is incredibly entrepreneurial. Like, the support that I've seen in the conversations I've had is the best to date that I've witnessed. So I feel really, really grateful to be able to be here to launch myself in this space, also in an area where I can actually still afford plots of land.
Thank you for welcoming new people. I'm Ildi Kovac, the Hungarian name, it's hard to pronounce. And I live in Vancouver currently. My home base here is mostly on Vancouver Island. We lived in Victoria when I was a child. That feels like my home in BC. Yeah, I'm just here curious about what this is. I met Elisa at a Coho BC viewing, and I'm on my journey on trying to find co-owned homes. Our home, yes. Struggling with affordability in Vancouver. It's the reality of the world here. And I work in a nonprofit in child-friendly city planning. So my background is also urban planning, but I like to, nonprofit wages aren't the best. So, but the work is amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to share. I'm just here curious, and I don't know if this would be something for me, but I want to hear more.
I'm an investment strategist. I work between a realtor and a mortgage broker. And I look for all kinds of deals and put them together, and just whoever's looking for, whether they're looking for money or land, I have both. I just try to collaborate and put it all together. So that's where I'm at the moment.
My name's Colleen. I am a mortgage broker. I'm also an investor, so I've been an investor for longer than I've been a broker. I've got a couple rental properties up in Whistler, short-term rentals that I self-manage. I met Liza probably about 5 or 6 years ago, even before I was a broker. And yeah, I just thought I would come on here and just see what everyone else is up to. As for me, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Things are getting really, really busy on the mortgage front again, and there's just been so many changes just with regulations over the last week or so, even a new one just today. And of course, rates are marching downwards, which is fantastic. So there's a lot going on. Just today, for example, there was just an announcement that if you've got a traditional mortgage and there's no insurance on it, if you wanted to move to a different lender to maybe get a better rate, you had to requalify at current stress test rates. And so that could bar you from doing that. It also meant your current bank didn't have an incentive to offer you the best deal necessarily. You were stuck there. Well, just today, they've actually changed that. So whether your mortgage is insured or even just conventional, if you're just moving it to a different institution, so you're not extending the amortization or trying to pull out more money, you can do that without having to go through the stress tests again. So you might even end up staying with your bank, but they're more likely to offer you the better rate without having to push so hard for it from the beginning. Or if not, you can move it over somewhere else. So there's been a lot of policies in this last week or two that are making it just a little bit easier. Not easy, but just a little bit easier to maybe qualify for things or to move things around or to seek out a little bit of a better rate or a better product. So yeah, lots going on. Anyway, I'm just here to basically listen to everyone else's stories for now, though.
I think there were a few threads that I just wanted to pull on. So a couple things that I wanted to pull on. A collaboration, definitely. I think almost every single person that was here talked about wanting to collaborate. You know, a big part of what I'm really proud of what we've created with WREN is a community where you get lots of support, and we are actively collaborating. So you know, there's also competition in the group, which is good because you sometimes get people who are looking at the same piece of property, for example. That happens every once in a while. But we're really about collaboration and community, and that's super important. Ease. I think that's a key word, that it's just so nice to hear that things are getting a tiny little bit easier right now, because if you talk to your lawyer, if you talk to your broker, if you talk to your real estate agent, if you talk to anybody about just investing processes, policies, anything that used to be 1 or 2 pages is now 30, 40, 50, or 60 pages long. So it's just, it's nice for Colleen to just mention that there have been a couple of things that they're trying to make a little bit easier for us, because I think people are over the craziness of how difficult everything is. There was a couple of other things. Education. So I think it was Lori, I think she mentioned something about coming to the end of her education journey. And Lori, if it wasn't you, forgive me. But one thing a real estate investor knows is that your education never ends. And I think the kind of post-COVID climate has really driven that home for us, because, you know, we kind of went in to COVID and things changed a little bit, and then we had some incredible opportunities that we were able to maximize, and then things changed, and policies changed, and so many things changed, and government changes. I mean, the government makes changes and announces them and doesn't even tell the government body that's impacted by the changes and that has to deliver the changes that they've made the changes. So it's kind of like your education never ends. So it's great to just, you know, I always say to people, just be in a network or two, because you're going to find that it's too much information for anybody to try to manage on their own. So you always want to be part of, a couple of different networks, find people that you feel comfortable with, find people who you can ask difficult questions to, find people who you can ask stupid questions to, and they're not going to embarrass you. And it's kind of helpful to be in a group where, maybe in one group, you're kind of like, you feel good because you're one of the smarter people in the room, but always find a group where you can also be the dumbest person in the room, because that's the group you're going to learn the most from. And so those are some of the things that I say, like when you're starting to figure out which network to join, those are just a few of the things to figure out. But absolutely get involved with a network, because your future investors, your future friends, your future travel partners, your future location independent, RV rock star bus drivers that you're going to caravan down to Mexico, they're all in these groups. So that's just my little interjection. Alexis, we can see you. Can we hear you now? Let's see.
I'm Alexis. I'm over in Vancouver, situated over here. I cover all of the Lower Mainland, even up and out to Whistler, because there's still some investment opportunities out there, and all the way out to Harrison Lake. As we know right now, I actually have a live deal out there for myself to Airbnb-able property, which we're allowed to do Airbnbs out there still as well. And it's very cost effective, you guys. So I'm always out there. I'm with REN. I recently switched with the brokerage. So I have access to all of the best and top pre-sales that are in and around the city, all the way out to like Seattle, in fact. So like I cover a very broad area for everything from like new construction, but investments related as well. So I am the sponsored realtor over here, as long with being the community leader. So if anybody is new to the community or has been with the community, I'm going to be doing my call outs, just to do little meet and greets and make sure that all of REN members have been having their services met, and also just doing a quick little intro. And if there's anything at all that you think that is an opportunity that you'd like for an evaluation, I am here to help guide and support the entire process from beginning to end. Obviously, if you'd like to work with me, of course, but anything to do with the community, I just absolutely love Vancouver, the Lower Mainland, all the different areas, and being able to talk about different kind of strategies that will be cash flow positive for you. So that's pretty much it right now lately. Just a little quick market update. I mean, I did the bigger market update last week. So I'm not going to get too much into the weeds, but just a quick, like 1 minute update. Market's going bananas. It's starting to go a lot busier than it has been in the past. Inflation, as we know, interest rates going down. Colleen's phone has been off the hook, so it just passes along to me. So my phone now is off the hook. People wanting to get out there, go and look at properties. So properties are starting to not only hit the market, but now things are starting to go at a more rapid pace as well. And we anticipate for that to continue into 2024 at the end of it, and then into 2025.
So we probably haven't seen the bottom yet, is what we're thinking, right?
The bottom, I think we're past the bottom, but like, I think we're getting out of it now, like as it pertains to prices and whatnot. Because activity has, as long as there's buyer confidence, that's the biggest thing that we look for. And as Warren Buffett has said, if we've already seen it on the news headlines, it's already too late. So if you were thinking about getting in at the absolute bottom, that was probably last week, but now we're on the upswing up, but the interest rates are going down. So it's a perfect time, I would say. It's a perfect time where you can have it where your monthly payments are going to be the least, and you can take advantage of the prices right now. And then, as we know, interest rates on the way down too.
It's going to be interesting. I think there's still so many schools of thought, right? I'm still of the opinion that we haven't quite seen the bottom in Vancouver yet, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm waiting for the opportunity for us to buy that, that West Van mansion that we can stratify and turn into an awesome co-ownership for like half the price. So we'll see. It also depends if they suddenly make a pivot on the Airbnb rules. So if they suddenly drop the ridiculous, 90-day minimum and allow a change. So what we generally do with the members connect portion is literally we have these conversations is who thinks the market's going down, what do we think, where do we think the other markets are, does anybody have a case study that they want to share, does anybody have like something they're struggling with or something that they are like so excited to share that they just can't wait. And yeah, it just gives us an opportunity to kind of get some feedback and some ideas from each other. And Alexis and I were talking last week and we were saying, if you own property in Calgary, not necessarily Edmonton, but Calgary, maybe now's the time to sell in Calgary. Because I don't know. I mean, is it still going to go up in Calgary? So it's interesting to see what people think, right? So, and then of course, with people like Lynn Trevison, who is our key private equity exempt market dealer, there's a lot of other things besides real estate. And there's a lot of ways you can still invest in real estate without owning just the single family home or the condo or the commercial even, but you can, pool it together. And so a lot of our members have been investing with Lynn over the years. And so you can start with as little as $6,000 and get into your first exempt market deal in something like mini storage. And yeah, we've had lots of the ladies say they love being in that exempt market space and love being able to start with such a small amount. So Alexis, sorry, I cut you off there. I just wanted to transition over. So Alexis, do you want to jump in and kind of finish your thought there? Because now we're kind of in our anybody can take their microphone off and let's hear what people are doing and what their opinions are on some of these things.
And if they have any questions too, like how can we help each other?
Exactly.
I was just going to say that like the luxury market's kind of unique, so it's going to be the last one to adjust. But as we're talking about, like we were kind of on the topic of more Airbnbs, those ones are at really good deals right now. And the condos we'll probably see is quite saturated right now. Townhomes, however, are going to be the ones that are going a little bit faster, and single family homes between 1 and 2 million are the ones that are almost like we're seeing multiple offers right now on. But the luxury market, like, so if we are looking at anything north of that $5 million, that's going to take a long time to adjust. So that was kind of my final thought on that.
That's awesome. And of course, one of the things that you hear me talk about as well is the fact that we've got 12 million baby boomers who are going to be selling off their businesses in North America in the next 5 to 7 years. And so a lot of those businesses are the small commercial businesses that make really great investments, the laundromats, the car washes, the boutique hotels, which of course is my favorite thing. The RV parks, I've seen quite a few more RV parks come up recently, the mobile home parks. And so I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. Apparently, I don't know if anybody saw Ozzy's last guest that he had on, but apparently there's a new app where it searches for, in the US, for retiring business owners. So you can literally reach out via AI to retiring business owners and then basically reach out and start negotiating your vendor financing with retiring business owners all across the US. I'm not sure if he said it was available in Canada yet, but I'd highly recommend checking out Ozzy's last YouTube video that he did with his last guest, and it's all about AI and the different generations of AI that are coming, and kind of where we are right now. So I'm definitely going to be checking out that AI tool that's going to get a list of retiring small boutique hotel owners and give them a call.
Actually, I didn't really have a chance to introduce myself. I just realized. But Liza and I met when we were taking a business course together. How many years ago?
Oh, almost 10.
I think it's longer than that.
Is it 2006? Oh my God, yeah. Oh, Jesus, right. Yeah, almost 20. God, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so that was a long time ago. Anyway, so I started a business and Liza started a business, and then we reconnected after several years. You know, we were following each other's business journeys. And she came out to Toronto to come visit me. And at that time, I had started my first pseudo co-living without even knowing what the word was. And of course, Liza was very experienced in this field, having lived on the biggest co-living uh, piece of structure on a cruise ship. So she recognized it right away. Hey, this is co-living. So I said, okay, let me research this word. And I realized that, yeah, this was actually what I wanted to do. I felt that I was creating these homes, these co-living homes, not for the financial gain, although of course we always have to be cash positive, but also in order for us to be a solution to the housing crisis, the loneliness crisis, the social, disconnection that we're having. So that's why Darren and I came together, and my other business partners, we came together because we all recognized that co-living, co-housing, co-ownership was the wave of the future.
Well, I was going to share a challenge if nobody had something to put
Yes,
on.
please.
So I'm offering a group coaching session on analyzing. So basically teaching people how to analyze properties. And I've advertised and I've got a couple of people who signed up, but I was sort of hoping for a bigger group of people to coach on this. And I'm just sort of like hitting the wall here because a lot of people say they wanted. And when I put it out there and I priced it really cheap, it's basically just $250 for 4 sessions. Plus you get all the native Excel sheets. And I've reached out to everybody and I'm getting every excuse under the sun as to why they can't do it or like participate. And I'm just like, okay, am I missing the boat here, or what's the situation going on? So I'm just looking for some ideas on how I could promote this package that I'm trying to get out there.
And Hong, again, you hit on a point, right? There's a lot of people who want to make change and want to participate, but they don't prioritize the actual making of the plan so that they can put the time and the money aside to actually do the work that needs to be done, right? I mean, I've had this conversation with people a lot lately. We're all busy. And again, being lots of solopreneurs, there's too many of us that are solopreneuring. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're expanding and collaborating more now. I can't do all the meetings, I can't do all of the analysis, right? So now we're getting more people in who have the skills, who like Hong, like Elisa, have really niche areas that they want to focus on, and coach on those things. And so all of us have to look out to our friends and families who aren't being active yet and say, what are you doing for your retirement? Like, are you going to depend on the government for your retirement? Because if you're not going to be dependent on the government for your retirement, you need to start taking action now. And if that means spending $250 so you can take a 4-session coaching with Hong, who's been investing for years, take the time, right? So we as our group, we need to be doing this. And we also need to keep encouraging our community that we've got to take action. We've buried our heads in the sand for long enough. COVID is over. As Colleen was saying, last week when we did the first monthly momentum for a while, she's like, oh my God, it feels exciting again. Rates are coming down, prices are coming down. We talked a little bit, things are getting a little bit easier all of a sudden. We're all kind of coming out of the woodwork. We know 2025 there's still going to be some huge challenges, but there's going to be some huge opportunities. And it's like this last quarter of 2024 is when we should be laying the plans so that we're ready to do whatever we need to do come like January 3rd, in 2025, because there are going to be tons of opportunities. We want Main Street over Wall Street. We want collaboration. We want community, and we have to build that. So thanks for joining us today. Elisa, thank you for hosting. Yay!